The first look at Disney's Haunted Mansion movie came today. Let's talk about it.
Soarin to tower. We are ready for takeoff.
If you haven't heard, this summer Disney is bringing to theaters a movie adaptation of the theme park ride The Haunted Mansion from Disneyland and Walt Disney World. We hadn't heard much about it yet, except for the cast, until yesterday when Disney released this teaser poster. There's not much to go off of, but it looks cool. It's a kind of a twisty hallway, which isn't a scene in the original attraction, but does seem like something they would have done if they, could. And in movies, you can. So this bodes well for the movie trying to adapt that style of effects into the capabilities of a movie. Then today, Disney released a new poster that shows us more of our new characters. This makes sense. In the attraction, we are the people visiting the mansion, and we're being led on a tour of the house via the ghost house. This is essentially a ghost version of an open house. They want us to move in, but that framing device doesn't really work as well in a movie format, because we cannot be the character. There has to be a character that's kind of sending in for us. Plus, a tour makes a great framing device for a ride, but not necessarily for a full feature-length film. So it looks like they have new characters and some kind of new reason the characters are in the mansion to frame the movie, which is okay. But then, they released a teaser trailer. Now, teasers aren't normally there to show you the plot of a movie. They try to get you engaged in the tone and in some visual moments that might intrigue you, but the plot points are usually saved for a full trailer later on. And this trailer was no different. We don't really know who these people are or why they're here, but one thing I can tell is the attention to detail is amazing. This isn't the first time that the Haunted Mansion has been brought to the screen. It's actually the second, or the third if you count Muppets Haunted Mansion, which I do. The first adaptation was several years ago, starring Eddie Murphy, in a movie that has been widely considered not very good and not very faithful to the original source material. Muppets Haunted Mansion was much more faithful to the source material, basically just having a Muppets version of the ride, but of course it could do that due to its short runtime. This is the first time since then that Disney has tried to tell a full feature-length story, hopefully marrying the full-length story of the Eddie Murphy version and the faithfulness of the Muppets Haunted Mansion version. From this trailer, it looks like the attention to detail is amazing. From the exterior, to the wallpaper, to the doorknobs, it's clear that at least the production design team clearly knows the mansion and studied it to make sure they got it right. The tone of this trailer is a little bit more confusing. See, the first half of the ride is spooky and creepy with when hinges creak and doorless chambers and all that. But then the second half becomes much more playful with grim grinning ghosts. Side note, that song was not in the trailer. I'm hoping that they can use it somewhere. I also recognize that they probably can't have ghosts actually singing it in the movie, but maybe there can be a music box, or maybe they even use it in one of the trailers. Anyway, the tone of the trailer focused much more on the spooky side, and I'm worried that it's going to become a we have to escape this house of ghosts story. And I'm hoping that that's not the case, and it's just the fact that it's a trailer, and so they want to hook you in with a Haunted Mansion aspect, and they will show you the more playful side in future trailers. This isn't new. Teasers will often try to make you think that the movie's one genre when it's actually another, because they think that a certain kind of teaser will get more audiences invested. I don't know. They also ended the trailer with a diegetic song that isn't found on the ride. I'm not familiar, but I do appreciate that they tried to give the movie its own identity outside of just what came from the ride. The movie can't possibly be a one-to-one recreation of the ride, but in movie form, so I appreciate them trying to give it its own identity outside of the ride. Also, side note, the movie is called Haunted Mansion, but usually when we're talking about the ride, we call it The Haunted Mansion because of how English works. And that's fine. You don't need to put the in the title if you don't want to. But the issue came when they announced the trailer on their Haunted Mansion movie Instagram page. See, when people like D23 posted it, they said a new trailer for @Haunted Mansion movie is coming. But for the official Haunted Mansion account, they said welcome to Haunted Mansion, which doesn't make it sound like it's a mansion that's haunted. It makes it sound like it's the mansion of a guy named Alexander Haunted. So, is this a big plot twist that they're accidentally revealing? Maybe. Is it another installment in the saga of Disney not having a grammar checker, even though they're a multi-billion-dollar company? Probably. Does it matter? Not really. But I don't know. I also don't know how to end this video, so